here everything would be okay for that. Yes, that is we have an all message. Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa, and welcome to you to my channel, Sheikh Afghan Jelebi the Misogynist Michaela. Accordance with titles, yes, today we are roasting Blaise Metreweli, and our topic is the tensions between United Kingdom and Russians. Okay, and now here I would discuss about the roles of Blaise Metreweli. Now, here my question is, what if Blaise Metreweli is not British, moreover a Russian woman spy? It is the significant moment because somehow when we would see the her Russian woman, when I check the background of Blaise Metreweli, here family background is something like the significant suspicious at the moment. Now let's see how we can see the points. Well, and here I would notify at the first of points. First of all, here I would show you that who was Blaise Metreweli. Okay, here maximum of you would know Blaise Metreweli, but someone would know that who was Blaise Metreweli. Blaise Metreweli is the first female chief of MI6 appointed on June 16, 2025, marking a history of women history moment of the agency of 160 years histories. Okay, but now and here the main point is as significance. Here is the family backgrounds. Well, now as we can see that what is the family background of Blaise Metreweli. Blaise Metreweli's father, Konstantin Metreweli, was born Konstantin Dobrovolsky, the son of Nazi collaborator Konstantin Dobrovolsky in Sonogvos and the Chemigrov Oblast at the Nazi-occupied Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic in 1943. He came to England with his mother. Then he named David Betronovoli in Yorkshire in 1947. And after attending the Vladmir School, the University of Cambridge and University of Oxford, he became a physician in radiologist and was chair of diagnosis radiologist at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. He also trained in the British Army and did a medical residency in Riyadh from 1982 to 1985. That was the points. Okay. Now here we can see the probability is that our honorable MI6 director Blaise Metreweli is actually Blaise Dobrovolsky. Her father name is Konstantin Dobrovolsky and her mother name is probably Florence Dobrovolsky. Her birth date is June 30, 1977. Okay. Now here, what is the points here? Comments. going to be a new. Okay. Shukran for your suggestions. I would accept it. Okay. Now here we can see birth date is June 30, 1977. Nationality is Russians. And probably I can guess what is her national anthems. We can see, let's check it. Writer of her national anthem is Sergei Mikhalikov. Okay. And here we can see the points at the momentums. Now let's check it. And what is Blaise Dobrovolsky's, Blaise Metreweli's national anthem at in her home? In home, in the room, in the bedroom, Blaise Metreweli's national anthem is, I would say, I would sing just tune. I have no knowledge about the lyrics. La 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 Okay. Now here we can see the points. Now, who is was the president of England? That is King Charles III in the 2026. And who is the president of uh, the country of MI6? Of course, King Charles III. Who is the prime minister of the country of MI6? Of course, Keir Starmer. But who is the president of the country of the current director of MI6? That is Vladimir Putin. But wait a moment. When country of the president of country of MI6 is King Charles III, and the prime minister of the country of MI6 is Keir Starmer, then how country of the director of MI6 would be Vladimir, president of the country of the director of MI6 would be Vladimir Putin? It is possible because Blaise Metreweli's real name is Blaise Dobrovolsky. And it is the points at the moment. And in the disguise of the British women, Blaise Dobrovolsky allies Blaise Metreweli served in MI6 agent from 1999 to 2026. That means 27 years. And in this, the recognitions both of Russian spy and MI6 agent, and what is her words I have said in the previous live streams. But now here is the focus there on only on the tensions between United Kingdom and Russia. Now let's see. I would check you that how Blaise Metreweli allies Blaise Dobrovolsky can be threat for United Kingdom when she is the director of MI6. Okay. First of all, Let's talk about the Russian tanks. Well, it is only in the demonstrated story of the geopolitics. Okay, now here we can see at the moments I would show you the what is the departure. Deeper. Well, here we can see what is the departure. Departure is Magadan, Russia, and what is the arrivals? Arrival is London, the capital city of England. And here we can see the points. What is the driving distance? The driving distance is 13,120 kilometers. And what is the driving time? Driving time is 1 second. Here, unfortunately, I have mistaken to write driving by flying. It would be driving. Okay. Now here, what is the kinetic powers? Kinetic powers is 34.848 trillion megawatts. But on the other hand, let's check it. What is the retaliations from British? Okay. It is the significant suspicious at the momentums as we can see. Well, now here departure is same, arrival is same, driving distance is same, but here now driving velocity is 33 kilometer per hours. Driving time is 400 hours. That means 144 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 seconds. Here half of weight of convoy is 10 to the power 5 kilograms. Here kinetic power is 12.67 watts. And now uh, here I would say that how Blaise Metreweli, being a director of MI6, is actually a sovereignty threat for England when the tension is between United Kingdom and Russia. Okay, now here we can say when the tension is between United Kingdom and the Russia, uh, according with demonstrated story, Blaise Metreweli probably invites Russian spy to attack British Parliament Day England. Okay. Now where British Parliament would living? British Parliament would be in London, the capital city of England. And here, where is the departure of Russian spy? At the convoy of 10 tanks. Here, that is the crystal simple. The departure would be Magadan, the cities of Russia. Okay. Here, the driving distance between Magadan and the London, the capital city of England, is 13,120 kilometers. That means it is almost 13,200 kilometers. Okay. Now here almost or actualities differs matters. Okay. Now here we can see and here I can say that how Blaise Metreweli hates the high speed automobile for MI6 and but she loves the high speed vehicles when it would be belongs to the enemy countries, and in this point the enemy country is Russian army. And that is the momentum at the points. And when the tension starts from the tension between England and Russia starts from 2022 with the war between Ukraine and Russia. Suddenly, we can say that Blaise Metreweli became directors of MI6 in June 16, 2025. It would be notable for us. And now, when she could observe that if Russian army vehicle would be containing the velocity of 13,200 kilometer per second, and my MI6 velocity vehicle velocity would be 33 kilometer per hour. Then here we then our the sovereignty of England would be easy target to be attacked by Russian army in 1 second. That is the plan for Blaise Metreweli, and here is the reason that why Blaise Metreweli was the chief technology officers to focus on technology and vehicle science of MI6, because she knows that that it is her plan to make United Kingdom as BDBBBC for Russian armies. It is the plan for her. Okay. Now let's see the points is that, well, now what is the points? Now here we can see Russian army would attack on United Kingdom at the February 4, 2026 at the morning 6 o'clock. I am talking of this time with the accordance with demonstrated stories. Well, and here we can see Russian army would reach on London, the capital city of England, to attack the British Parliament at February 4, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past, by driving the distance of 13,200 kilometers in 1 second. But when, accordance with the retaliate, when British army would attack on Russia, then what is the driving distance? The driving distance would be 13,120 kilometers. But what would be the velocity of British army's tank? The velocity would be 33 kilometers per hour. Hence, here we can see the points. The flying time, the driving time would be 400 hours. Okay. Now here we can see the points. What is 400 hours? Okay. Now here we can see what is 12 multiplied by 8? That is 96. What is 12 multiplied by 16? 192. Hence, here we can see the points. What is 12 multiplied by 32 is almost 384. 12 multiplied by 13 is 396. That means 400 hours means 33 days, 4 hours. That means when British Army retaliate against Russian army with a counter-attack, departure would be London, the capital city of England, at the time of Greenwich time of morning 6 o'clock, February 4, 2026. Okay. Now here we can see the points. What is March 4? That is 28 days. Just for a moment, I would see the points. Take the size of okay. Well, you can see me. Well, and when I am talking against toxic feminisms, you can guess my genders. Okay, you have a beautiful comments. And I have response you. Okay, now let's see. Well, departure time is February 4, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock. Okay, now here March 4, 2026, it would be 28 days. Well, the subtraction from 33 by 28 is 5. That means the arrival time would be March 9, 2026 at morning 10 o'clock. That is the significant moments, as we could see the points. March 9, 2026 at morning 10 o'clock. And in this, the delay of 33 days, 4 hours, here we can see that British Parliament would be helpless in the front of Russian invader army. And that's Blaise Metreweli wish. And that is the Blaise Metreweli's plan. Because the grandfather of Blaise Metreweli was Russian collaborator. I mean, Nazi Ukraine collaborators, and they conquered Ukraine, the Soviet socialist Ukraine. And somehow in 1943, the grandfather of Blaise Metreweli leave Russian Moscow, the capital city of Soviet Russia, and take a refuge in England, London, the capital city of England. And here we can, in 1947, the grandfather of Blaise Metreweli, the Konstantin Dobrovolsky, received the citizenship of England, probably under the presidency of Queen II Elizabeth, of the Queen of England. That is what's going on. Okay, and now here the is topic about the family backgrounds, and here that Blaise Metreweli was systematically settled in England, hence that Blaise Metreweli can work for Russia when it would be the tensions between United Kingdom and Russia. Okay, now let's say it is the first point. Now let's discuss about the second point, that is kinetic powers. Now here we can see what how can we calculate that Russian 10 tanks kinetic power would be 34.848 trillion megawatts, when British 10 tank kinetic powers would be 12.67 watts. It is the clear. Now here when we can see the Russian 10 tanks convoy. Now here we can observe that Russia Russian 10 tanks here velocity would be 13,200 kilometers per second. When the departure is Magadan from Russia and the arrival is London, the capital city of England, and the target is the British Parliament. Just for 2 minutes. Okay. Now here and here we can see the birds. I feel some disturbance from other persons. Okay. Now let's get the topics. Here we can notify is that velocity driving distance is 13,200 kilometers and the driving time is 1 second. And departure is Magadan, the capital city, Magadan from Russia, and arrival is London, the capital city of England. And here, accordance with Isaac Newton onion kinetic powers theory, the equations of kinetic powers is generally half of weight of convoy of 10 Russian tanks multiplied by distance square divided by travel time cube. And here distance is 13,200 kilometers and the travel time is 1 second. And here the observation says that so driving time is when the driving time is 1 second, driving time is equal to driving time square equal to driving time cube equal to driving time to the power 7 equal to driving time to the power 666. Because here in this moments 1 square equal to 1 cube equal to 1 to the power 7 equal to 1 to the power 666 is 1. And in this moment, when the driving time is 1 second, kinetic power is kinetic energy. Hence, the kinetic powers equation is half of weight of 10 Russian tanks multiplied by here distance squares. What is half of weight of 10 Russian tanks? That is 10 to the power 5. Because one Russian tank contains the weight of 20,000 kilograms. Okay. Now let's see about the driving distance, that is 13,200 kilometers. And what is the 13,200 kilometers? That is 132 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 meters. Okay, hence the driving distance square is 132 square multiplied by 10 to the power 5 square meter squares. Now, according with our observations, What is 10 to the power 5 squared? That is 10 to the power 15. What is the multiplication between 10 to the power 5 and 10 to the power 15? 10 to the power 5 is 10 to the power 10s. And what is 10 to the power 5 by multiple by 10 to the power 10? As this is 10 to the power 15. Okay. Now here, what is 132 squared? That is 17,424. Okay. Now here we can see actually the half of weight of the car is just like here, and here that is 20,000 2 multiple by 10 to the power 5, but it is okay. And here we got 34.848 trillion megawatts. Okay, it is the points because the actual weight of half of weight of 10 Russian tank is 2 multiple by 10 to the power 5 kilograms. Well, that is the points. Here are the explanations. But when British army would retaliate against Russian army to protect the Russian parliaments. Now let's see the points. Accordance with Blaise Metreweli, here kinetic powers would be calculated just like 2 multiple by 10 to the power 5 multiple by 132 square multiple by 10 to the power 5 square divided by 144 cube divided by 10 to the power 4 cube. Okay. Now let's see what is 144 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 seconds. That is 400 hours. And what is 400 hours? That is 33 days, 4 hours. Okay. Now here, what is 144 cube? Before understanding that, let's understand what is 144. That is 4 multiplied by 36. Hence, what is 144 cube? That is 64 multiplied by 6 to the power 6. The calculation is that 34,848 divided by bracket of 64 multiplied by 6 to the power 6, double bracket close, enter multiple by 1000, that is 12.68 watts. And that is the significant moments at the points. Okay. Now here, now let's get the summaries. First point is velocities. Accordance with the plan of Blaise Metreweli, when Russian 10 tanks would contain the velocity of 13,200 km per second, and on the other hand, British 10 tank would contain the velocity of 33 km per hour. Now, where is 13,200 km per second and where is 33 km per hour? That is the largest difference as we could see. That is the advantage only for Russian army under Vladimir Putin, accordance with the plan of Blaise Metreweli. Okay, now it is the velocity. Now let's say about the timing. Now timing is that when the Russian army, Now here we can see Russian army controls the velocity of okay. Now here we can see the points. Russian army controls the velocity of 33,200 km per second. Hence, the driving the distance of 13,200 kilometers, Russia needs the driving timing of 1 second. But when British Army 10 tanks would retaliate uh, on Russian army, where departure is London, the capital city of England, and the arrival is Magdalen, the city of Russia, their timing would be 400 hours. That means 33 days, 4 hours. Where is driving timing of 1 second, and where is driving timing of 33 days, 4 hours? That is the significant difference of timing difference of 144 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 times. And that is the Anwar test goes to Russian army, and that is the achievement of Vladimir Putin accordance with the plan of Blaise Metreweli. Now here is the third point. Well, here we can see. Okay. Now here is the third point. When Russian army tanks would contain the half of weight of 10 tanks as 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 kilograms, the Russian kinetic powers would be almost 34.848 trillion megawatts. On the other hand, in the same weight goes to British Army 10 tanks, their kinetic powers would be 12.67 watts. Now here we can see that where is the kinetic power of 34.848 trillion megawatt, and where is 12.67 watt as kinetic powers? Here we can see the significant difference. That is almost 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 times. And that achievements, that advantage goes to Vladimir Putin. Now, here kinetic powers, we can say about the kinetic powers, we can say technical velocity, we can say timing, everything can be disadvantage for British Army under the Prime Minister of Keir Starmer and the King of England as King Charles III. Okay. Now here that is the point that how Blaise Metreweli wants to make sure that Russian army would say in England that VDVVVC. Okay, and it is the significant negative points goes to British armies. That is the plan of Blaise Metreweli. Now let's see about the points. Okay. Now here we can see the significant moments. What is the Russian army's tank fuel? That is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. But what about the points? The British armies fuel would be petrol from Saudi Arabia, because they could not get a petrol from Russia at the moment. Now let's get the points. Okay. Now here we can see what is the necessary fuel weights. That is 3.47 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 639 picograms. But when we can see what about the British Army, here we can say the fuel volumes. What is the fuel volumes? That is 220,475 liter of petrols. Okay. And now here is the momentum as the points. Now it is the point that how can I calculate the necessary fuel weight or necessary fuel volumes. Okay. Now it is very simple, the points. Well, when here is the minds at the points. The multiplications of kinetic and let's say the points, where half of weight of 10 tank is 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 10 to the power 5 kilograms, and here the kinetic energy driving distance is 13,200 kilometers. Here the multiplication between them would be 34,848 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 watts. Okay. Now here when we can see. Now I'm talking about this with the plan of Blaise Metreweli. When they're talking about the Russian army, okay. Now when the point is about the Russian armies, the 10 tanks would contains different points. 400 34,848 multiplied by 10 to the power 15 can be the complete of the kinetic powers of Russian army 10 tanks. Here driving distance is 1 second, and here the equations of the fuel weight is kinetic power divided by bracket of weight of engine capability multiplied by specific heat of fuel multiplied by temperature of fuel, temperature difference of fuels, bracket close. Now we know kinetic powers, that is 34,848 multiplied by 10 to the power 15. And here we can see 34, the engine capability is 98. Hence the fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Hence here specific heat would be 15,408 joule per kilogram per kelvins, and we have mentioned the temperature, that is 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Hence here we can see, according to the calculations, necessary fuel weight is 3.47 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 639 picograms. That is lighter than 10 to the power negative 12 picograms. Okay. And now It is the Russian army's points. But what about British army's points? That is very dangerous because that is the plan by Blaise Metreweli. Here we can see the fuel would be petrols from Saudi Arabia. And here, hence, the fuel volume is half of weight of 10 British tons multiplied by distance square enter divided by travel time square multiplied by engine capability multiplied by here specific heats of fuel multiplied by temperature difference of the fuels. Now, hence fuel is petrols. Here we can see that specific heat would be 2 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. And the temperature is difference is 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, engine capability is 98%. And here we can see density of heat. Density of petrol is 0.7778 kilogram per liters. On the other hand, the multiplication between half of weight of 10 British tons and distance square is 34,848 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. Here, travel time square is 144 square multiplied by 10 to the power 4 squares. Now, what is 144 squares? That is 16 multiplied by 6 to the power 4. What is 10 to the power 4 squares? That is 10 to the power 8. Okay. What is the division of 10 to the power 15 by 10 to the power 8? That is 10 to the power 7. Hence, the calculations becomes 34,848 multiplied by 10 to the power 7. Hence, enter divided by double bracket of 16 multiplied by 6 to the power 4 bracket close multiplied by 98 multiplied by 0.778 bracket close. And what is the result? The result is 220,475 liters of petrol. That is the significant moments as we could see that can make the significant difference of the points. Okay. Well, I think here we got an outside sunlight. Well, now let's see some points as we can mention. And here, the significant moments as we can see, that is the, let's get the summaries. Summaries is that when the significant, just for 2 minutes, here when summary is that British Army contains fuels as a petrols, Russian Army would contain the fuel, the artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Okay. On the other hand, when the Russian army fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with the 10 to the power 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, their fuel weight is 3.49 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 639 picograms. But what about the British Army? The fuel is petrol Hence, the fuel volume is 220,475 liters of petrol. Where is 3.5 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 639 picograms artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius, and where is 220,475 liters of petrol. Here is the significant difference, and it is the significant advantage goes to Russia under President Vladimir Putin. That is the plan of Blaise Metreweli. Okay, and now here is the significant plans of Blaise Metreweli, and it is the British plans. I don't know why. Okay, but now here let's check it the points. Okay. Now here we can see the Russians by now let's talk about the Air Force. Russian plywood contains Sukhoi planes. Here departure is Kamenskoye, Russia, and the arrival is London, the capital city of England. Here is flying distance 9,028 kilometers and the flying time is 1 second. And here kinetic powers is okay. Now here we can see the significant points. Kinetic power is 8.281 trillion megawatts. But what about the British armies? I mean British Air Force. Here departure is London, the capital city of England. Arrival is Kamenskoye, Russia. Okay, and here we can see the flying distance is same, but the velocity would be 45.5 km per hour. The flying time would be 200 hours. 72 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 seconds. Here half of weight of F-35 fighter planes would be 100,000 kilograms. Hence the kinetic power is 22.2 watts. And now here is the significant points that how I can calculate it. And in this points, the airplanes at the points, accordance with Blaise Metreweli, Russian plane would contain the velocity of 9.1 thousand kilometer per second. Yes. And here we can see the points. What is 9.1 thousand kilometer per second? When the flying distance is almost 9100 kilometers, well, Russian Air Force departure time would be, well, here we can see the points. Russian Air Force departure would be at morning 6 o'clock, February 4, 2026, and their arrival on London, the capital city of England, would be at the Russian times, February 4, 2026, at the morning 6 o'clock 1 second past. Departure date is same between arrival time and departure time, that is February 4, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock. Departure time is 6 o'clock and arrival time is morning 6 o'clock 1 second past. But when we can see But when we can see about the points, the British air force would attack on Khaman, the city of Russia. What would be the significant moments? Here, flying departure time in the London Times, departure would be February 4, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock. But here, flying, what is the flying time? Flying time would be 200 hours because here flying distance is 9100 kilometers and here the flying timing is 45.5 kilometer per hour. And that is the here and here in the Air Force categories, significant advantage goes for Russia. Okay. Now here we can see what is the 200 hours. 200 hours is almost 16 day, 16 days, 8 hours. That means here arrival time of British Air Force would be uh, at Kamenskoye, Russia, British time February 20, 2026 at afternoon 2 o'clock. And in this delay of 16 days, 4 hours, well, here we can say Russian army would prepare to attack 100 times on British Parliament, where British Parliament is in London, the capital city of England. And that is the wish of Blaise Metreweli. And now here is the significant points. Now let's say the velocities. Russian Air Force, Russian Sukhoi plane, velocity 9100 km per second. British F-35 fighter planes at velocity 45.5 km per hour. Here is the significant difference between Russian Sukhoi plane and British F-35 planes. And this advantage would goes to whom? Russian President Vladimir Putin. And that is the wish of Blaise Metreweli. Now here is the second point. What is the timing? When the flying distance is 9100 kilometers, the Russian Sukhoi plane flying timing is 1 second. British F-35 fighter plane flying timing is 16 days, 8 hours. Where is 1 second and where is 16 days, 8 hours? Here is almost 72 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 time difference, and that advantage goes to Vladimir Putin. Okay. Now here we can see what about the kinetic powers. When the flying distance is 9100 kilometers with the fly, and for Sukhoi planes when flying time is 1 second, here the kinetic power equations for Sukhoi plane is almost half of weight of Sukhoi plane multiplied by distance squared. And here the flying time is 1 second. Kinetic power is kinetic energy. Okay. Well, Now let's see what is 9100 kilometers. That is 91 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 meters. Okay. What is the flying distance squares? That is 91 square multiplied by 10 to the power 5 squares. Okay. Now let's see. What is 10 to the power 5 square? That is 10 to the power 10 squares. And what is half of weight of Sukhoi planes? That is 10 to the power 5. And what is the multiplication of 10 to the power 5 and 10 to the power 10? Of course, that is 10 to the power 15. And in this points, 10 to the power 15, what is 91 squares? That is 8281. Now let's check it. What is 8281 multiplied by 10 to the power 15? That is 8.281 multiplied by 10 to the power 18. Hence, the kinetic power is 8.281 multiplied by 10 to the power 18 watts. But now, here we can see what is what is 10 to the power 18 watts? That is 1 billion megawatt. 10 to the power 18 watts is 1 trillion megawatts. That means the kinetic power is 8.281 multiplied by 10 to the power 18 watts is 8.281 trillion megawatts. And that is the significant moments at the points. Okay. Now here we can say the significant journeys at the moments. Here we can see the significant journeys. Now what about the British kinetic powers calculations? Okay. Now here British kinetic powers calculations is simple. That is here kinetic powers equations is half of weight of F-35 fighter planes multiplied by distance square divided by travel time cube. But accordance with Blaise Metreweli plans, here when flying distance is 9100 kilometers, flying time would be almost 200 hours. Now what is 200 hours? That is 72 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 seconds. Okay. Now here what is 72? That is 2 multiplied by 6 square. And here we can see 72. What is 72 square? That is 4 multiplied by 6 square. Now what is 72 cube? That is 8 multiplied by 6 to the power 6. And here we can see the points. And here the calculation is 10 to the power 5 multiplied by 91 square multiplied by 10 to the power 5 square enter divided by bracket of 72 cube multiplied by 10 to the power 4 cube bracket close. Now here we can see what is 10 to the power 4 cube. That is here 10 to the power 12. What is 10 to the power 5 square? That is 10 to the power 10. What is the multiplications between 10 to the power 10 and 10 to the power 5? That is 10 to the power 15. What is divisions of 10 to the power 15 by 10 to the power 12? That is 10 cube. That is 1000. Now here we can see what is 91 square. That is 8281. Hence, the calculation is 100, 1000 multiplied by bracket of 8281 divided by bracket of 8 multiplied by 6 to the power 6 triple bracket close, and the result is 22.2 watts. Uh, Now here the difference is that when Russian Air Force would attack British Parliament on London, the capital city of England, their velocity would be 9100 kilometer per second, and here kinetic power would be almost, what is the 8.281 trillion megawatts. But when as a counter attack, British army would retaliate on Kamenskoye, the city of Russia, against the Russian Air Force. Now here British army's velocity would be 45.5 kilometer per hour. Hence the flying distance is 9100 kilometers. Flying timing would be 16 days, 8 hours. Hence the kinetic power would be 22.2 watts. Now where is 8.281 trillion megawatts and where is 22.2 watts? The significant difference is advantage belongs to Russian President Vladimir Putin, and unfortunately that is the plan of Blaise Metreweli, the director of MI6, because here we have mentioned that here we have a probable ID card, national ID card of Russian Federation, that Blaise Metreweli is a Russian. Her real name is Blaise Dobrovolsky. That is the significant difference as we could see. Okay, now here let's check the points about the significant moments. Okay, and here what is the fuel? When the Russian Air Force attacked British parliaments, Russian Sukhoi plane fuel would be artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. But when British Air Force retaliate on Russian Air Force at the Kamenskoye against Russian Air Force, their fuel would be petrol from Saudi Arabia. And now let's check the points. When Russian fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Hence, here we can see that necessary fuel weight would be 8.224 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 640 picograms. But when British Air Force would retaliate against Russian Air Force on Kamenskoye, the city of Russia, because their fuel would be petrol from Saudi Arabia, necessary fuel volume would be 209,568 liters of petrols. And here, here you can see, here I have mentioned that what is the equations of fuel petrols and what is the equations of The fuel weight, where fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Okay, and now here we can see the significant moments. Uh, and here you can see two Air Force, one British Air Force would contains 209,568 liters of petrol. That would be more than the entire weight of uh, F-35 fighter planes. And we know that empty F-35 fighter plane weight is 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 kilograms. Hence, here we can see the significant moments at the result of the points uh, that it is almost impossible for British Air Force to retaliate the Russian Air Force on Kamenskoye. And hence, here is the probable points that British Air Force would be defeated by whom? The Russian Air Force. That is the points of Blaise Metreweli, because Blaise Metreweli believes that let's surrender to Russian army, particularly Russian President Vladimir Putin. That is the points of Blaise Metreweli. Okay, and here this is the significant points. Now, here I have mentioned the entire vehicle technologies that Blaise Metreweli want to make MI6 surrender to Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia. How could I say that? Well, now here the point is, I could confidently say the points just because here okay now just because here we can notify here before that the first things I have mentioned. Blaise Metreweli's national ID card is Blaise Dobrovolsky. She born in July 30, 1977. Her nationality is Russians. And now here we can say the focus on the technologies. Well, as of June of 2025, Metroweli was Director of General of Technology and Innovations at MI6. Okay. Now, oh my Adonai. Okay. Now here, accordance with January 2025, Blaise Metreweli was Director of Innovations and Technology Department of MI6. And now here is still the tensions between United Kingdom and Russia. But the irony is that Blaise Metreweli was Director of Technology and Innovation Department of MI6, where Blaise Metreweli herself is Russian. Now here the point is, since I am Bangladeshi, so can I be the director of Innovations and Technology Department of MI6? When I am Israeli, can I be director of innovation and technology of MI6? Well, hence I am Saudi Arabian. Can I be the director of innovations and technology department of MI6? The answer of three question is negative here. But when the here is government under the prime minister of Kirstamers. Now, when we could see the corruption ministers as Tulip Siddiqui, where Tulip Siddiqui is the princess of Bangladeshi Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and Bangladeshi father of nations Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Well, and here we can see somehow the Blaise Metreweli's grandfather would be elite in the Soviet Russia, and that is the significant problems. And after 1991, it can be an opportunity to generate a time to start a third Cold War, and here in the or perhaps a new form of World War, where we can see that MI6 ordinary agents would contain the enemy, where enemy of MI6 ordinary agent would be MI6 director, because ordinary MI6 agents are the, the person with the nationality to be British. But what about the director? The director Blaise Metreweli is originally Blaise Dobrovolsky, the Russian woman spy, to be a director of MI6, the Foreign Security Agency of England. And now here we can see that what I would have discussed about it. Well. Now here I have mentioned the air routes, I have mentioned the land routes, but I forgot to mention about the. But I have forgot to mention the points to be notified at the moment. Now let's see. I think it would be almost. I got just 2 minutes for here. And in this moment, here we can notify at the significant points. See distance org. Now here we can notify at the C distance org. Well, let's see the port of departure. Well, Russia. And here we can see the points. Now let's see about the archangels. I think I have forgot the points about the girls. Now here you can see here. Kamchatra Chatka try. Okay. Now here is it mentions about Kamchatka Kai? Well. Uh, Now here it would be Kat Yarka. Katyarka. Okay. Now here we can see what is the nearby the points. It is the significant at the moments. Beringovsky. Okay. Now here. Now let's see about the Bangladesh at the moments, because it is the safest points, because I did not have a significant times. Oh, Suez canals, and here we can see hmm I think so here south co okay. Now what is the nearby of the points? It is Japan. And now here we can see about United Kingdom, United Kingdoms, and what is the Plymouth? Hmm. Well, and what about the moments where kilometers per say kilometer per second to knot, kilometer per second to knots, and here well, now here we can write here the points 13200 kilometer per second to knots. Let's see. Here what is the here not conversions. Here I can see the moments. I think I have 132,000. Okay, 256 5. Okay. Okay. Now here we can see 256590000, and here's the Suez canals at the moments. It is the distance would be 10,000 for Suez Canal, that is 10,676. Okay, and here, here is the significant moments that in Suez Canal, when the Suez Canal is a bare route, Here, the distance between Russia and Plymouth, the sea beach of England, I mean seaport of England, would be 10,676 nautical miles. Now here, now we can see that what is the nautical miles, and here now let's see nautical mile, 2 kilometers. Okay, that is 10,676. Okay, that is 19,771. Well, it would be almost 19. Okay, now here, well, the Russian seaport nearby Japan and the Plymouth, the seaport of England, the naval distance is almost 20,000 kilometers. And for the Russian submarines, here uh, we can see what about the Russian submarines. Russian submarines travel time is 1 second because the velocity would be 20,000 kilometer per second. Here we can see that is the significant points. What is the in this cases? Here we can say the 17 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 kilograms is the weight, half of weight of Russian submarines. And now that is the significant points. The kinetic powers of Russian submarines would be half of weight of Russian submarines multiplied by distance squares. Okay. Now here distance squares we can see to what is 20,000 kilometers, that is 20 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 meters. Hence we can say 2 multiplied by 10 to the power 7 meters. Hence the distance square is 4 multiplied by 10 to the power 14 meter squares. Now let's see the multiplication between 2 and 17, that is 34 repeats. And here we can say 10 to the power 14 and 10 to the power 6, that is 10 to the power 20. And here we can hear the points. Well, 34 hundreds. Here 34 multiplied by 10 to the power 20. 34 hundreds multiplied by 10 to the power 18 watts. That means the submarine kinetic powers would be almost here the 3400 trillion megawatts. But what about the points? In that points, Blaise Metreweli wished that British British submarine would contain the velocity of 20 kilometer per hour, where the distance is 20,000 kilometers. Timing would be 1,000 hours. That means here now here the calculations is significant at the moment. 996 divided by 12. Oh, that is almost 83 4 hours. Now, Russian Navy departure would be February 4, 2026 at morning 6 o'clock, and arrival on Plymouth would be at the February 4, 2026 at 6 o'clock 1 second past. But here the topic, here we can see when the British submarine departure would be February 4, 2026 at 6 o'clock. March 4, 2026 would be 28 days. Hence, the 83 suspect attack by 28 is 63 suspect by 8, and that means 55. Okay. That would be the March 4, 2026. April 4, 2026 at the points 7 55 subject by 34 1 is 24. That means the arrival time would be almost 84 okay. Here we can see that arrival time is April 28, 2026 at morning 10 o'clock. And here we can see the significant negative points as we can and be notified. Okay. Now here we can contest the calculators, and here the calculator is significant for me. 3400 multiplied by 10 to the power 18e. Okay, now here sci-fi moments, and here we can see the points. What is 1000 hours? That is 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. Okay, 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. And here it would be a cube, and now here the point would be 72 watts. It is would be the kinetic powers of British submarine would be 73 watts. Now here the irony is that the Russian submarine kinetic power would be 3400 trillion megawatts, where British submarine kinetic power would be 73 watts. And here is the significant difference at the moments, velocity, times, and the kinetic powers. British submarine would be weaker than Russian submarine. That is the plan's accordance with Blaise Metreweli, because Blaise Metreweli to be women director of MI6, the Foreign Intelligence Agency of England, is actually the Blaise Dobrovolsky and Russian women spy. And that is the significant threats for England provided by Russian President Vladimir Putin through Blaise Metreweli. And that is all of my words. I have discussed about Blaise Metreweli's. Okay. Now here I did not even discuss Russian proxies, and in the next live stream or the several live stream letters, I would discuss that what is Russian proxy, Iranian terrorist, and Venezuelan terrorist to attack England, and that would be in the wish of Blaise Metreweli. I would discuss After the several live stream in the topic of ICC T20 World Cup. See you then. Khodafez. Love you.